Everyone has to eat. You can eat when you're hungry, you eat sometimes when you're bored. From fast food to gourmet food, food is a part of life. But have you ever stopped to wonder what might actually be inside your food? As science and technology advance, mankind has found new ways to make things. So there's synthetic meats, genetically engineered crops, and the list goes on. The question remains, though, is that really good food for you? I intend to lay out some examples of chemicals and other artificial components in your food, and I'll also show you what adverse effects they can have on your body. So let's buckle up. First, I would like to define a major contender in the bad food business. The contender is called processed food. A good definition of processed food I found is from a website called Healthy Eating, and the author states the definition of what constitutes a processed food can vary slightly, but it usually refers to foods that are packaged in boxes, cans, or bags. These foods need to be processed extensively to be edible and are not found as it is in nature. In addition to going through many complex processing steps, processed foods often contain additives, artificial flavorings, and other chemical ingredients. Another way to put it is it would be chemically processed foods. Some foods require processing using machines. Some examples are meat getting ground, butter being made, fruit being cut from trees, etc. But I want to focus on the chemically processed foods. Next, I'll identify for you some buzzwords for chemically processed foods. Imagine you're going to go to the grocery store today, and you walk up to the canned food aisle, and you're to pick up a can of baked beans and look at the ingredients. Here's some beans here. Baked beans are a good example because they tend to have a lot of sugar in them. Now, and especially the bad sugars. Natural sugars that you find in apples and oranges are good for you in moderation, but too much of anything is bad for you. But here, you're going to find some examples of what's called table sugar, brown sugar, or high fructose sugar, or high fructose corn syrup. And those type of sugars are actually the ones that can indicate chemical processing. Your body is designed to process natural sugars like those in fruits, but these sugars are cited to increase the risk of factors of cardiovascular disease and metabolic syndrome. So not only is it connected directly to cases of heart disease and obesity, but also diabetes and cancer. Right there is enough to slam on the brakes and think twice about what kind of sugar you're actually consuming. The difficult thing is that the type of sugar is in everything. Soda, juice, candy, cereal, soup, and even some meat contain high fructose syrup. It becomes all the more difficult to avoid it, and it requires a much more attentive approach for all of us. Another adverse and somewhat alarming effect of these types of sugar is the addictive nature of them. Your body is designed to crave what it needs for nutrients. So if you get a huge craving for milk, it probably means your body needs calcium. If you start having daydreams of dancing T-bone steaks, then your body may be saying, hey, I need some protein. Seems pretty simple though, right? Well, on a high processed sugar diet, your brain gets overly stimulated. That overstimulation leads to a sensory overload, and that sensory overload makes you want to reward yourself with more sugar. That has a negative impact on your body's natural regulation of nutrients and weight, because now you're craving more sugar, which does nothing but add to your weight and elevates acids in your body that can lead to high blood pressure and kidney damage. So now we've seen the dangers of processed sugar in the foods that we eat and the beverages that we drink. But is that the only harmful chemical present? The answer is no. The other chemicals present that you have to worry about are preservatives. Now, back in the day, we used excessive amounts of salt to keep our meats preserved. The inventions of electricity and subsequently refrigeration lent a huge hand to the next phase of food preservation. But now we have chemicals to help out with that. So in theory, that sounds like a great idea, but in actuality, it actually does more harm than good. One adverse effect of preservatives is behavioral change. In a study done on 3-year-olds, the presence of artificial preservatives led to increased hyperactivity. Though not life-threatening, there were some certainly perturbed parents with hyperactive children. Now, there are some more dangerous effects too. Studies have shown that prolonged exposure to preservatives can damage your heart cells. They've also been shown that your body's natural acids, when mixed with preservatives, can cause cancer-creating cells. Damaged hearts and cancers are not a good idea. That does not sound good at all. So I've really been able to briefly touch on all of these harmful things present in your food and drinks. We covered processed foods and sugars and the harm that they can cause to your body, as well as realizing how present they actually are in your diet. And we've also discussed what preservatives are in a food and what they can do to your bodies and why you should avoid foods containing preservatives. So I think we can all agree. Let's lay off these types of food. Let's stick to fresh fruits and veggies. Check the meat packages you buy. If there's a list of words that you can't pronounce or understand, they probably contain something harmful to your body. Most importantly, though, remember that having a McDonald's burger every now and then is not going to kill you. But my advice is life is short, so take care of yourself, be smart about what you eat, and live life healthily. Thank you.